That's my deep ass, beautiful, deep baritone melodic voice.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. Sound right, boys. Make sure it sound right, boys.
That's my deep ass, beautiful, deep baritone melodic voice. So maybe, she need to do Holland News. She need to do Holland News. So maybe she need to do Holland News.
Dag vriendjes, dag vriendinnetjes, dat was het dan alweer. Dag
Hi guys, how are you guys doing? It's your girl SYLISMUKBANG, the Mukbang news reporter here out on this YouTube street. Now guys, welcome to another What's Up Holland? What's up in Holland? Yes guys, that's been a long time that I have reported something about Holland. But let me tell you guys, something very, I don't even want to call it excited, but something very particular have happened on Wednesday. Because Wednesday we were all allowed to go vote, guys. Yes, and I definitely put my vote in for a really smaller group and all of that. But unfortunately, as far as I hear, they didn't win any seats in the parliamental. But we got a little bit more tragedy, a little bit more strange, and a little more unfortunately news, guys, because this group that have won more than 37 seats in the parliament, yeah, is a group that is not really kindful to the foreigners here in Europe, and is to be specific in Holland, and it's called the PVV. Let me read this for you guys. PVV wins election with 37 seats in the parliament. But let's read further what Geert Wilders, because we're talking about Geert Wilders, and I'm going to let you guys know who is Geert Wilders, and then you guys are going to understand how a little bit alarming this situation is for us as foreigners here in Holland. And also I'm going to show you guys what one of my sisters are already doing here in Holland. But let's get into this situation a little bit. The PVV has convincingly won the 2023 parliamentary election, standing at 37 seats with 94% of the votes counted. About 2.3 million people voted for the far-right party on Wednesday. Geert Wilders' party is doing better than the VVD did in 2021 and 2017, when 2.2 million people voted for the party. In 2012, Rutte party received slightly more votes at 2.5. So it is a party that he used to be in that called VVD, but he has started his own and all of that, and that's what they are explaining that he's doing, and he did much better than the other group back in the days. Some of you may be asking, who is Geert Wilders? Now let me explain to you who is Geert Wilders and why it's very alarming that the group have won almost 37 seats in the parliamental, because when it's time to vote, they have 37 seats, so they can, vote for anything to go the way they want it to go. And let me tell you guys, who is Geert Wilders? So Geert Wilders, has campaigned to stop what he views as the Islamization of the Netherlands. He has compared the Quran to Mein Kampf and has campaigned to have the book banned in the Netherlands. He advocates ending immigration for Muslim countries and abandoning the construction of new mosque also. So he doesn't want any mosque more built in Holland. Wilders was a speaker at the Facing Jihad conference held in Israel in 2008, which discussed the dangers of jihad and has called for a hard line against what he called street terror. Also, he was described by the media as an Islam hobo. Let me try to say this. Islam hobo. So like somebody that doesn't like, Islam, Arab people and all of that. I don't know how to say it. You guys can read it here. Wilders rejects being labeled as far right and views himself as a right-wing liberal. Wilders was first accused of criminally insulting religious and ethnic groups and insisting hatred and discrimination. He was found not guilty in 2011. In 2026, he landed in court again and was found guilty of incitement and encouraging discrimination against Moroccan immigrants to the Netherlands, but faced no punishment. The verdict was later overturned. Yes, guys, this is Geert Wilders. This is the man that have won the election with 37 seats in the parliament. And let me show you guys what one of my sister was doing.
Wat gebeurt? Hey, wat doet u? Mama!
Ik woon 51 jaar in dit land, hè? Ik ga er vandoor. Hoezo heeft Wilders 35? Is het geen 40 zetels nu? Nee, het is klaar. Ik ben weg. Ik ben weg. Je ziet maar hoe je het gaat doen. Jullie redden het wel. Ik heb het gezien. Waar is die koude Uber? Waar is die Uber? Geef me mijn paspoort. Geef me mijn paspoort. Geef me mijn paspoort. Klein beetje van Nederland gaat mee. Ik hoef hier niet meer te blijven. Waar is de Uber? Waar is...
Dag vriendjes, dag vriendinnetjes, dat was het dan alweer. Dag vriendjes, dag vriendinnetjes, tot de volgende keer maar weer. Want dit avontuur gaat verder, dus er komt nog heel veel meer. Maar niet meer vandaag, maar de volgende keer. Wil je weten hoe dit avontuur dus verder zal gaan? Kijk naar Passie.
Ah jongens, hoe gaat het?
Hoi, goeiedag. Ja,
Waar gaat de reis heen?
Ja, we gaan terug naar Marokko, man.
Terug?
Ja, man.
Hoezo dat nou weer?
Ja, Geert is aan de macht gekomen. Ik dacht, ik ga maar alvast. Scheelt een hoop gezeik, man.
Oké, en wat gaan jullie...
Hi, my name is Danny. I'm a music producer and I live in the Netherlands. I've recently found out that the party that won the recent elections has policies that talk about the de-Islamization of the Netherlands. They talk about banning the Quran, they're talking about sending people with dual citizenship away, and they're talking about the support of South Afrikaners, meaning the white people in South Africa as part of the Dutch heritage. Not to mention the fact that he wants to close off the borders for all immigrants and he wants the Netherlands out of the European Union. What is going on? I'm completely appalled that this actually happened. How is it possible? Is it the result of falsified votes? Not enough people went to vote. People were paid to vote. What is going on? I refuse to believe that in a country with such a large Muslim population and international communication, I am Romanian. I have friends that came from all over the world into this country to live, work, study, and the Netherlands is dependent on these people. Isn't Amsterdam the most international city in the world? Aren't the Dutch supposedly championing inclusivity and the rights of minorities? If you are Dutch and you're seeing this post, please help me understand what the f is going on. Because this guy looks like he came straight out of a movie. And regardless, we're not gonna let them operate, right?
So it's been less than 24 hours since the Dutch election results have been tallied. I am Jen, a US digital marketer who moved to Amsterdam and became a Dutch national. You may be reading up on reports that say the Dutch election results are a shockwave in Europe. And here's why. The Netherlands has a reputation of being one of the most tolerant nations in Europe. Well, the party that won the most seats in the Tweede Kamer, otherwise known as the Dutch Parliament, is none other than the Partij voor de Vrijheid, or otherwise known as the PVV. In translation, that means Party for Freedom. Yes, that PVV, otherwise known as the party helmed by the Dutch Donald Trump, known as Geert Wilders. I am a queer-identifying woman of Asian descent, and his party's manifesto is deeply frightening for someone like me. The PVV's manifesto includes a binding referendum to leave the EU. Yes, Nexit. Nigel Farage, anyone? Scrapping the public broadcasting system. Banning Islamic ideology in schools, while at the same time allowing other faiths such as Judaism, Christianity, and Buddhism to be present. Freezing the entry of asylum seekers, particularly those coming from Syria. Rolling back the climate change policy. Utilizing the military to regain the streets when necessary. Stronger alliance with Israel. And banning voting rights of dual nationals, like myself. So yeah, it's considered a shock that one of the most tolerant countries in Europe is following the recent wave of populism to go far right. But this is a cautionary tale for people like myself who live in major cities, in this case, Amsterdam. Our cities are not a reflection of the entire country. And in fact, most oftentimes, the rest of the country will vote startlingly against the interests of these cities. We saw this in the US, Argentina, UK, Italy, and surprisingly, in the Netherlands. But when you think about the size of this country and the density of it and how most major cities such as Utrecht, Amsterdam, we don't reflect the wider interests of the rest of the nation. Remember, a lot of the country is also farmlands, and their interests are not at all overlapping with what we in the cities are concerned about. However, just because the PVV won the majority of seats does not mean that everything is said and done. The Dutch parliament does function on coalitions, so they will have to form alliances with other parties to get their policies moving forward. It will be interesting to see which parties fall in line with Geert Wilders. Stay tuned as I try not to freak out.
She was already packing because she is already done. She already knows what is going to happen here in Holland with us immigrants. I'm not an immigrant, but with immigrants, with the foreigners, and all of us. It's a little bit alarming for, especially the people with the Quran and the Islamist people is a little bit alarming, what is going to happen and all of that here in Holland. There definitely going to be some big changes and all of that. Are we all going to be happy with the changes? Who knows? I don't know. But I'm telling you guys, it's a new day. It's definitely a new day. And what can we do? We need to accept it like it is. It is what it is. And there's not much we can do. But I know some people will say, now go back to your country. Now let me tell you. Let me keep that for myself. But anyway, people, I have totally right to be here as much as anybody. That's all I can say. And this is my opinion. Now, guys, that was a little bit news of Holland, what is going on here and all of that. It's a little bit, shockity shock dog for us, especially the foreigners here in the Europe. But yeah, it is what it is, guys. Yes, Geert Wilders have finally got his place where he wanted to be and all of that. Ooh, this is going to be something. But you guys, I will let you guys know if this man have done any craziness. And and then maybe I have to pack my bag and go back to Curacao. I will let you guys know too. But anyway, guys, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Here she goes to this mukbang. The mukbang news report here out on this YouTube street. And like I always say, God bless everybody, still bless everybody. You know it. Ahora, Sylis in the building. Bye, guys. Doo-doo.
That's my deep-ass, beautiful, deep, baritone, melodic voice.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. Sound right, boys. Make sure it sound right, boys.